My name is Julie Cox, and I play Princess Irulan. At the end of the first one, she's married to Paul, which is purely a marriage of convenience, bringing the houses together. However, that she is very much in love with the character of Paul Atreides. When we pick it up 13 years later, there's a sort of understanding. There's a much more maturity, almost accepting her fate and learning how to live with it. But her name is still the Corrino family, and they still are the enemies of the House Atreides. So there's a lot of people who are still questioning her and doubting her allegiance, and I think that gets to the point with her where it's very frustrating because she's really given up a lot of things to do what she's doing now, and underneath all that there is this very sad person who has basically had to accept that she's never going to be the person who she loves, but she's still happy to serve him and keep the faith. Irulan probably still is torn between her loyalty to the Bene Gesserits as well, and they are still very much concerned about the lineage. And she actually puts a contraceptive into Chani's food and is preventing her from getting pregnant. And that is the beginning of this very weird sort of relationship. You've got the wife who really isn't the wife and the concubine who is the wife. And there's a showdown between the two, which I'm sure will excite quite a few people. It's almost like a kind of a mud fight or something. You know, we follow these two people for so long, and finally it's like a one-on-one. I read the first Dune book when I was 13 because I was a big sci-fi fan. Well, my brother was a big sci-fi fan, and I adored him, and everything that he read I had to read because he was my big brother. And I started with Asimov, and kind of when Philip K. Dick and all that, and then I got into the Dune. I read the first one when I was 13, and then the second and third maybe the following year. What John Harrison has done is taken the best from the two books, because I think that anyone who's a fan of the series of Herbert's books will admit that the longer the books go on, the less clear they are, the more. I mean, the first Dune is absolutely brilliant, and by the third one, things become quite obscure. So there's a take on it that I think is quite strong. There's very much the sci-fi element. I mean, I've seen a lot of the CGI effects, and I think for people who are very into that side of things, these are fantastic. In fact, better than the first one, because everyone likes a bit of sort of sci-fi, and just having got to know the characters from the first one, just that continuity and getting that involved with their lives and over the long period of time of the journey. And people who are a big fan of the books, it's so strong, all that. It's very moving, very powerful.